Alright, first and foremost, I want to start off by saying Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh Shai, Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh Shai, Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh Shai, Call Holah, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who rule well and who taught me this truth. And shalom to you sincere Akim out there listening, learning, and pushing this truth. And shalom to the few sincere Aqua that are out there listening and learning as well. And with that being said, I'm going to jump straight into this video. Lord is willing, it'll be edifying. As usual, I'm going to go in the Rakah Kwadash. For the record, today's date is July 29th, 2020, the year of prophecy. And shouldn't be too long. I just got two articles off of RT that I wanted to bring out, and a couple scriptures, basic scriptures, but anyway, like I said, I'm gonna just go in the spirit as usual, and we'll see how it turns out, where it leads to. All right. So the first article, matter of fact, let me go into the articles first, and then we'll get into the scriptures. So the first article that I'm gonna go into is off of RT, like I said, and it reads, "Global Britain will be nothing but a campaign slogan if UK doesn't introduce passenger COVID-19 testing. Heathrow boss warns." So I read that over. It says, Global Britain will be nothing but a campaign slogan if UK doesn't introduce passenger COVID-19 testing. Heathrow boss warns. So as I've brought out and I've mentioned before, that we know ultimately we are heading into a time known as Jacob's trouble. Okay. Jacob's trouble, which we're at the door of it, which, like we always say, is going to be famine, martial law, civil unrest, so on and so forth, right? But also we're entering into a time called the hour of temptation, which is where Esau Edom, the so-called white man, the red Hebrew Edomite, okay, through his beast system, which is NATO and the EU, okay, they're going to implement this charagma, the mark of the beast, okay, and we see that's what they're using this COVID-19 as. They're using it as a way to usher this in gradually, okay? And like we keep saying, or I kept saying over and over, that eventually it's going to be mandatory testing, okay? And then mandatory stages, phases. Esau Edom does things, as the elders say, in gradualism. And they also do things called predictive programming, slowly conditioning you, for ultimately, like I said, the charagma. That's what everything is leading to. You see, so as this article is going to go into, the boss of the airport in the UK, right? He's saying that they need mandatory testing for everyone that's coming in and out of the airline, which you're going to see. You see, so ultimately, like we keep saying, or I keep saying, mandatory testing. Okay, that's what this thing is leading to. And then if they're mandatory testing, to what? Mandatory track you, to see who's positive, who's not. Mandatory tracking. Okay, and then ultimately making that vaccine mandatory whenever it's available. Okay, who knows? It probably is available already, because like the brothers have brought out that this is an old agenda, COVID-19. Okay, they're actually behind in their agenda to act, because we know they should have been shipped to people. Okay, you see. So ultimately, like I said, mandatory testing is where it's going to lead to, which is going to lead to mandatory vaccinations. Okay, you're not going to be able to travel, eat out, work unless you're tested and then vaccinated. Okay, and if you don't want, like a brother brought out, I forgot who exactly, but one of the brothers brought out, if you don't want to comply, okay, that's fine. We have a place that we'll put you. It's called a FEMA camp, a concentration camp. This is where we put you people that don't want to conform. Okay, and then ultimately we know it's going to lead to the charagma, the chip. That's going to be the end all be all. Okay, it'll be able to do everything. Okay, Revelations 13 verse 16, that no man buy or sell save he that have the mark. Okay, you see. So anyway, back in the article, it says Global Britain It says Global Britain will be nothing but a campaign slogan if UK doesn't introduce passenger COVID-19 testing. Heathrow boss warns. And this is from today also. Okay, this article is from today, the 29th of July, 2020, the year of prophecy. And you can see it says coronavirus just arrived in the UK, question mark. Stay alert. To stay safe, keep a safe distance from others, stay indoors as much as possible, wash your hands regularly, stay alert. Okay, so let's read a little bit of this. So it says London Heathrow Airport's boss has brutally claimed that the UK government's Global Britain policy will be nothing but empty rhetoric if it doesn't implement COVID-19 testing at airports. See? He wants to make it mandatory. After seeing passengers' numbers plunge. It says in an interview with the BBC on Wednesday, so that means that people aren't traveling because we know the grinding is getting low. Okay? We know this is a global crash, okay? Of this fiat currency, so they can usher in this cashless system. Okay, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We can clearly see where this thing is heading. So it says London Heathrow Airport's boss has brutally claimed that the UK government's Global Britain policy will be nothing but empty rhetoric if it doesn't implement COVID-19 testing at airports after seeing passenger numbers plunge. In an interview with the BBC on Wednesday, Heathrow's chief executive John Holland Kay urged the UK government to restart travel to get the country's fragile economy going again. You see, the economy's weak, man, just like America, Babylon the Great. Okay, you see, and that's not just in the UK, that's globally. All these economies are fragile. Okay, you know, this is I forget who, one of the brothers brought it out, or it's a term that's going around, the global reset. Okay, that's what you see happening. Okay, it's a global reset, a global restart. Okay, a new age. They're trying to usher in a new age, a cashless age. Okay, you know, an internet age, a digital age, spearheaded by the Charagma. Okay, so they can track everything. You know, as the scriptures say, he has a God complex, man. This man Esau Edom, he wants to be like the Most High. You see, he wants to see everything, know everything. You see, know how much money you have, how you're spending it, where you're going. You know, you see. It says in an interview with the BBC on Wednesday, Heathrow's chief executive John Holland Kay urged the UK government to restart travel to get the country's fragile economy going again. It says by introducing coronavirus testing at airports and fast. You see? They want to do it fast, quickly. You see? It says he warned that Britain was an island nation, but that we cannot cut ourselves off from the rest of the world forever. Because they put a travel ban on like the United States and so on and so forth. The EU did. Okay? They banned Brazil. I think the United States, they banned Russia, you see? So that's hurting the economy, you know? You know, people can't travel, people can't, you know, tourism and stuff like that go back. This is a major, this lockdown is having a major effect on a bunch of things, man. You know? It's not just one area is being affected. Everything's being locked down and shut down. As the scripture said, the grinding is low. Okay, you know, we in them times, man. So it says our European competitors are racing ahead with passenger testing. You see, because that's the wave. That's what's going to happen, man. Mandatory testing, and then mandatory vaccination. Okay, then ultimately mandatory chipping. Okay, it says our European competitors are racing ahead with passenger testing. If the UK doesn't act soon, Global Britain will be nothing more than a campaign slogan. It says it comes as the airport reported a 96% fall, and wow, you see, so that's a drastic fall, man. They're damn near bankrupt, man. You can't. How can they sustain themselves? You see, man. We in them times, man. We in them times. This is we're in the Great Depression all over again. But this is even worse. Okay, that bubble that is popping, man. Okay, man, this is beautiful, beautiful times. It says it comes as the airport reported a 96% fall in passenger numbers in the second quarter of 2020, the year of prophecy. It says prompted by the coronavirus pandemic that and we know it's a plandemic, as they keep saying. It's all part of the plan. Prompted by the coronavirus pandemic that has wrought havoc on both the travel and aviation industries. Yeah, like Hertz, I believe, went out of business. Then you got different rental car companies going under, different mom and pop places going under. You see? These bars, these pubs going under. We in them times, man. Jacob's trouble, baby. We at the door. And it's global. It's global. Just like the hour of temptation, like we keep warning you about, is going to be global. Okay? It says Bojo. Who the hell is... Oh, I think that's the... I forget that. Who the hell is Bojo? I think he's the prime minister or some shit. Anyway, it says Bojo, I think he's the prime minister of Britain. I forget his first name or whatever his full title is. But anyway, it says Bojo warns of second wave of COVID-19 hitting Europe while defending UK's quarantine rule for travelers. It says just as the travel industry was hoping to start its long-going road to recovery, there are now fears of a second wave of the deadly virus. Like they keep saying, the second wave is supposed to be even worse, allegedly. You see? So the lockdown, like we keep saying, and the draconian legislation, the laws, okay, the unrighteous decrees are about to really amp up because Esau Edom is about to show his ass. The devil is coming down with great wrath, knowing that he had but a short time. He's trying to accomplish this enterprise to chip the people, okay, to bring forth his new world order, his new world agenda, okay, this cashless society, okay. You see? It says just as the travel industry was hoping to start its long road to recovery, see, and everything's gonna it's a global restart. Everything's gonna be recalibrated to this charagma. You see, all the stores are gonna be where the infrastructure's already laid. You see, your jobs are gonna be prepared to receive the chip. You're gonna be traveling the DMV. Everything is gonna be ready to go, man. We right there, man. He's rolling it out. He's rolling out this agenda right. He's the new world order. He's rolling it out right before your eyes, man. It's being rolled out as we speak in different phases. You see, through this pandemic. You see, it says just as the travel industry was hoping to start its long road to recovery, there are now fears of a second wave of the deadly virus, and with it more damaging restrictions. You see, more draconian legislations, man. Okay, this was a soft lockdown, soft martial law. Now we're going to enter into hard draconian, martial law. You don't want to abide. Fuck wearing a mask. You don't want to get this. You don't want to get tested. Your ass is getting thrown into a FEMA camp. You getting fined. You getting locked up. You getting carted away, man. And your rights are going to be violated, man. You ain't going to have no rights, okay? Because they're going to use it as a public health crisis. It's bigger than you. It's about the public. You see, you're endangering the public. You see, you're a terrorist. You see, that's where this thing is headed, man. Fuck, you don't want to wear a mask. You're not trying to get tested. You're not trying to get vaccinated, and you're not trying to take this chip. You going against the government, man. You're not trying to bow to this beast's system. You see where this thing is headed? It says, just as the travel industry was hoping to start its long road to recovery, there are now fears of a second wave of the deadly virus, and with it more. And hey, Salakia, kind of it just came to my mind. That's why you see a lot of people see what's going on, man. Because we in them times, the nation is divided, the kingdoms are divided, and you got a lot of these people, Edomites and different nations. Even Jake also, may not necessarily understand the scriptures, the prophecies, but they see that this economy is collapsing. They see that something's on the horizon. That's why they're prepping. You got these doomsday preppers. You got these people buying up all this gold. Gold is skyrocketing. You see, because they can see something's on the horizon. Okay? You see? You see, but the ones that can truly see, that have the true eye salve, are the elect, man. Starting with the prophets. Okay, starting from elder apostles to her on down, and all the men warning you, man, the spiritual weathermen. You see, repent, man. This thing is getting serious, man. Okay, our salvation is near, man. Okay, but it's gonna get rough out here, man. It's getting rough. It's gonna get rough, man. You can't avoid this. You can't run from this, man. Okay, you can't escape it. This is the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, and it's gonna try the world. It's gonna try you and your household. Okay, so get that faith in you, man. Build yourself up. Get your mind right for what's about to be unleashed on this place, man. Okay. So it says, just as the travel industry was hoping to start its long road to recovery, because you can't heal Babylon, and Babylon is that whore. Okay, that she's the cheat. She's the like as it is written, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. The lady of delicacies. She sits as a queen in her heart. She's America the great melting pot. That chief city that's America. You see, but this place you can't heal it. It's going down. You see, you can't heal it. You can't heal Babylon the Great. There is no balm. Okay, you see, and no one else is gonna rule after. Okay, Moab, you ain't ruling. Gog, you ain't ruling. Okay, Ishmael, you ain't ruling. Okay, Jacob is ruling. Esau's the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. This is your last hoorah. Okay, you see, Yahweh Shai is coming to rule. Okay, and every knee and every tongue is gonna bow. Okay, every nation. Okay, because he's the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, and you about to see his might and feel his wrath. Okay. You ain't healing this damn place. You ain't making America great again. Okay? You see? It says, just as the travel industry was hoping to start its long road to recovery, there are now fears of a second wave of the deadly virus, and with it more damaging restrictions. After the UK imposed a 14-day quarantine, and we know it's going to be more because look at what happened in more damaging, more draconian legislation, more unrighteous decrees. Why? Because look at what happened in Melbourne, Australia. Okay, it went from 14 days to 6 weeks. They're quarantining them in that public housing buildings. Okay, so we know it's going to be much harder restrictions, and they're telling you. Okay, they're telling you straight out of their own mouth. Okay, it says after the UK imposed a 14-day quarantine for people traveling from Spain on Saturday night, Holland K believes that if the UK government doesn't quickly introduce COVID-19 testing regime, and that's why they're rolling out the military. Okay, not just in Babylon the Great, different countries I've noticed also. I was going to do a lesson on it, but I can't remember off the top where, but a lot of these countries are now starting to deploy their troops, not just like America is, okay, over the riots and over the COVID-19. So, like I said, these cities, which we're going to get into the scriptures, these cities are being besieged, being more militarized globally, okay? Why? To enforce this New World Order agenda, okay? You see? Life as you know it is drastically changing day by day. Okay? So it says, after the UK imposed a 14-day quarantine for people traveling from Spain on Saturday night, Holland K believes that if the UK government doesn't quickly introduce a COVID-19 testing regime, Britain would face playing a game of quarantine roulette. He suggested that a double testing double testing. Not just good. Wow. He suggested that a double testing program has the potential to reduce the duration of the 14-day quarantine. This would see one, and that's why ultimately they're going to chip you. Okay, the chip is going to be the alarm. Okay, whether your temperature's rising. Okay, you're going to have to keep getting tested over and over and over because you never know, man. Think about it. You have to constantly be getting tested. Just like the HIV, if you're practicing unprotected sex, they tell you you're supposed to keep going and getting tested over and over. You see, the same thing. You have to keep getting tested over, even if you're coming back negative. Another 14 days, you're gonna have to go get tested again. You see, if you're out and about, because you could have came into contact with it. So ultimately, you can see how they could say, okay, well, the chip, it'll alert us if you get it. That'll eliminate the testing. You see, just throwing that out there. You see how they can just you see. So it says he suggested that a double Salakia. He suggested that a double testing program has the potential to reduce the duration of the 14-day quarantine. It says this would see one test carried out at the airport, which could be implemented in 2 weeks, and a second test at a health center 5 to 8 days later to reduce quarantine time. Yeah. It says UK Prime Minister, that's his name, Bojo, that's what they call him, Boris Johnson. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has defended the government's perceived flip-flopping on rules for travels returning from Spain, insisting that emerging signs of a second wave of coronavirus in Europe was the driving factor behind the new quarantine rules. All right, so that's pretty much it on that. So I got one more article, and then we'll get into the scriptures and we're out of here. It's kind of going a little bit longer than I wanted, but it is what it is. All right. So this is off of RT also from today also. All right. Showing you the times that we're in, man. Okay. You see. So it reads, police quit agreements, and this is globally. France, they were quitting. You see, these are patterns, vibrations that are on the earth, man. We in these times, man. Uproars of the people, people are being plagued in the mind. A lot of people having suicidal thoughts. You see, we in these times, man. Okay, darkness, man. Gross darkness is already covering the people, but it's about to get real nasty. You see, and we know the gross darkness talks about confusion, but they're really about to be confused if you don't have this truth. You see, you're not going to be able to comprehend why everything is all these calamities that's about to befall this place at such a rapid pace, a fast pace. Okay, so police quit agreements to provide security at DNC convention over tear gas and pepper spray ban as mass protests are feared. Okay, so as it reads, it says Democrats who have been clamoring to defund police and reimagine the force may soon get a small taste of what they're asking for, after scores of law enforcement agencies reportedly refuse to protect their convention. You see, because this kingdom is divided. You see, we're in these times, man. Civil unrest, man. Class wars, race wars. You see, infighting. Domestic violence. Mother against daughter, son against father. Husband against wife. You see, we're in these times, man. It says at least 100 law enforcement agencies around Wisconsin are reportedly canceling agreements to help provide security at next month's Democratic National Convention in Milwaukee, raising concerns over whether forces will be adequate to deal with potential protests. You see? Order out of chaos. You see? This thing is about to get nasty. Wait till the famine hits, man. Okay? And the police aren't, they might start policing it for a little bit, and then they might just back off and let the chaos happen. As you see, they let it happen in Portland, so they can be justified in coming down with even more military, even more harsher legislation. You see? We in these times, man. It says at least 100 law enforcement agencies around Wisconsin are reportedly canceling agreements to help provide security at next month's Democratic National Convention in Milwaukee, raising concerns over whether forces will be adequate to deal with potential protests. It says at issue is a new policy banning Milwaukee police from using tear gas or pepper spray during protests, which was ordered last week amid heightened scrutiny of law enforcement tactics. So the police officers, the law enforcement, are pretty much saying their hands are being tied. We can't do this now, we can't do that. How the hell are we supposed to do our job? We can't even use pepper spray and tear gas to kind of control them now. You see, because we know ultimately Everybody's taking orders from the wicked elite, the higher ups, okay? And they're orchestrating this. Like we said, this is the pandemic, the protesting, the rioting, the famine. It's all, most of it is being man-made by the wicked elite to ultimately bring forth that agenda. Okay, order out of chaos. As the elder apostle Rhymelab always mentions, I believe it's the Hegelian dialect, pressure from above, pressure from below. You see, to force you to submit, okay, to this beast system and that charagma. Okay, it says at issue is a new policy banning Milwaukee police from using tear gas or pepper spray during protests, which was ordered last week amid heightened scrutiny of law enforcement tactics. It says police have clashed with protesters across the nation in the past 2 months as many anti-racism demonstrations escalated into riots, including looting and violence in Milwaukee. It says since the Milwaukee order was issued, police departments from such cities as Fond du Lac, Franklin, Greendale, and West Allis have withdrawn from agreements to send officers to the convention. It says the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel reported. Milwaukee police were counting on outside agencies to provide about 1,100 officers to help provide security during the convention, which begins on August 17th. All right, so let's see what this says. It says, Trump vows never to defund police, says hundreds of federal law enforcement will be sent to Chicago as part of Operation Legend. Yeah, because he's, like I said, these cities are becoming more and more militarized, okay, because we're in these times. It says the convention has been scaled down. It says the convention has been scaled down this year to have only 300 people attend in person, including presumptive presidential nominee Joe Biden, because of concerns over the COVID-19 pandemic. President Donald Trump last week canceled a Republican National Convention that was scheduled to be held next month in Jacksonville, citing rising coronavirus cases in Florida. It says, but regardless of how few people may be inside the Wisconsin Center in downtown Milwaukee, police are bracing for the possibility of large protests outside the venue. So you get the idea, man. You get the idea. You see, this place is divided. These cops are divided. They're being stressed out. You see, everybody's divided because we're in these times. All right. So let me hit some scriptures and then I will close out. Let's see. Let me start with Luke. This is Luke chapter 12, verse 49. And I got the red letter on so you can see it straight out of Yahushai's mouth, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, who is a so-called black man, a so-called Negro from the tribe of Judah. Okay? It says straight to the point. This is how we know the times that we're in. Okay? It's not a time of peace. Okay? Despite what, contrary to popular belief, Yahushua is not coming back for hugs and kisses, man. Okay, it's going to be a time of darkness, not light, as the scripture says. All right. So this is Luke, chapter 12, verse 49. I'll read all the way down to 53. I was going to just read 49, but I'll read all the way down to 53. The main point isn't. The whole thing is the main point. So Luke 12 and 49, it says, I come, who is the I? Yahushua. He's on his way, all right? And we know as it is written, he's not going to meet Esau, Edom, or the other nations, or 2/3 of his own people, okay? As a man, he's coming as a great power, okay? You know, to take vengeance upon the wicked, okay? You know, chiefly Esau, Edom, the other nations, and like I said, 2/3 of his own people. Okay, they're wicked as hell too. Okay, so it says, I am come to send fire on the earth. Okay, Yahushua is, man. Okay, fire from the what? Thermonuclear destruction, intercontinental ballistic missiles, those missiles, those nukes, and fire from the damn the chariots, man. What you ignorantly call UFOs. Okay, you see. That the laser beams coming off the chariots, that's the fire also. Okay, you see, it says, I am come to send fire on the earth, And what will I if it already be kindled? Because like I said, like we say, he's come with Yahushua is coming back in the midst of the third's woe. Okay, there's an order to things. Okay, we have to go through Jacob's trouble. The hour of temptation has to arise. We have to go through the hour of temptation when the RFID microchip, the charagma, is made mandatory. Okay, and then the third woe is going to take place. Okay, and in the midst of the third's woe, which is over there in the Middle East, the Valley of Yehoshaphat. Okay, in the midst of that, that's when Yahushua is going to return. Okay, you see. So that's what he said. I come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it already be kindled? And this fire is already being stirred up, man. With the fire, there's a fire in these people, man. Okay, you see, you see. It says, but I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I straitened till it be accomplished? It says, suppose ye that I am come to give peace on the earth. That's the precepts of men. Okay, that's what these false prophets and these false pastors would have you to believe. Okay, all right, that our Lord is coming back to rapture everybody, to save everybody. That's not in the scriptures, man. Okay, the scriptures tell you that the slain of the Lord shall be many. Okay, you see. So it says, suppose ye that I am come to give peace on the earth. I tell you, nay, but rather division. You see. For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. It says, the father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Okay? So that's what times we're in, man. We're in these times. So this is 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 14. It says, behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. You see, and they're coming upon the earth. That fire's already, kindled. Okay, and it's going to intensify. Okay, it says the fire is kindled and shall not be put out. You can't, like I said, you can't heal Babylon. You can't turn these plagues back. You can't put the cat back in the bag. As it is said, the cat's out of the bag. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. Okay? You see? As it is written, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has set the bounds which this man cannot pass, man. Okay? We at the times, man. It's time for Esau to go down, man, for him to pay for all the wickedness that he's done. Okay? It's time for the Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to destroy them that destroy the earth. You see? It says, the fire is kindled and shall not be put out, till it consume the foundation of the earth. It says, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backward, talking about those missiles, okay, those nukes, okay, coming out of those silos, okay. It says, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backward, even so the plagues shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again, okay. And we know the ultimate plague, like I said, is the missiles, but the famine, the martial law, so on and so forth, that's the plagues. That's how much Yahushua visited this place, the world which he made. Okay? It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days, showing you reincarnation. Ezra understood that he was going to be back. He was going to come back and stand in his lot, because the spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets. Ezra understood that he was going to be back in these days. Okay, the latter days, which is now. Okay, so he said, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Okay, because it's a horrible time. We're entering into evil times, bad times, perilous times. Okay, tribulation, man, horrible times. Okay, you see, so now is the time, like I keep saying, to stop playing around, man. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Okay, do all that you can to stand in that day. Okay, so it says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. Okay, like I said, the day of the Lord is going to be darkness, not light. Okay, you see, now he didn't come to send peace. You see, it says, suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. I tell you, nay, but rather division. Okay, he's coming to light a fire under your ass, man, to see if you believe in him or not, him and the Father, if you have faith, if you trust in him or not. You're going to have to prove it, man. Okay? Okay? It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. Okay? The beginning, you see? The beginning of wars. Like he said, wars and rumors of wars. Ultimately leading up to the third woe. Okay? And that then Yahweh Shai is going to return in the midst of that, like I said. Because that's the end all be all. That's the last war of wars. Okay? As the scriptures say, the nations shall learn war no more. Okay, they're gonna beat their swords into plowshares, in the pruning hooks. Okay, so it says the beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Well, I don't know what you're gonna do, but as for me and my household and my brethren, we're gonna trust in Yahweh while Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, that's because we've been trusting in the Lord, and we're gonna continue to trust in Him, because that's the only thing that's gonna deliver you in them days, man. Okay, your faith and your works. Okay, and Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's mercy. May it be, Lord's willing, He have mercy upon you. Okay, because nothing else is gonna save you. Not your money, not your strength, not your cars, not your connections, not your bunkers, not your effort, not your fiat currency, your dollars, not your cryptocurrencies, not your gold, not your silver, not your nothing. Nothing's gonna save you in them days unless Yahweh Shai deems you to be fit to be saved. Okay, if you're one of the elect. Okay, the first fruits predestined from salvation. Okay, predestined to be saved from the beginning of salvation. Okay, you see? So it says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, because these things are happening, these calamities are happening, these signs are happening, so that you can consider and repent and turn back to the Heavenly Father. You see? It says, behold, victuals, meaning goods, shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. Yeah, they think they blessed, they think they living it up. They think this is it. They think nothing bad is going to befall them. Okay, you see, but that's a false sense of security. They're not considering their latter end. You see, it says, "Behold, victuals shall be so good upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case." It says, "And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion." You see, the darkness, like I said, it's going to get much worse. You see, it's already gross darkness, but as more and more calamities befall this place, they're going to be more and more bewildered, more and more confused. Okay, you see, it says, "For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine." Okay, you see, and that's mercy, man. If you die prior to them nukes, that's mercy. Okay, that's mercy from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, you see. So it says, "For many of them that dwell upon the earth," and that show you what type of spirit Yahweh Shemel Shai is in. If famine and being raped and tortured, and if that's mercy, man, could you imagine the nukes? Okay, the second death, the lake of fire. Man, you got to be a super wicked ass person, for the Lord to keep preserve you for that, man. You know, Lord's willing, that ain't my lot, man. I'm gonna do all I can, cause damn, man, you wicked. I be thinking, I be meditating on Salaki, going a little rant. I be meditating on that all the time, man. That second death, that lake of fires is gonna be something brutal, man. You know. And how about Yahweh Shai can do anything, man? He can stop time. He can, because the scriptures say that it's gonna take 1 hour to destroy this place. But we know that hour can feel like a lifetime, man. He can slow down time. He can make you feel every damn, your whole body, all, and who knows, man. That's going to be, like, as it is written, the indignation of the Lord, man, all his righteous anger is going to be poured out onto you, man. I don't want no parts of that, man. Hell with that. Anyway, so it says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Like if a man did flee from a bear and a lion did meet him, or roughly paraphrasing, a lion and a bear did meet him, and then did put his hand on a wall and a serpent bit him, roughly paraphrasing, meaning no matter which way you turn, it's going to be destruction, man, hell, calamities. You see, it says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. It says, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. It says, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. There shall be no man. It says, there shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. You see? And that's what times we're coming into, man. Horrible, horrible times. Okay? I think I'm going to shut it down there because it went a little bit longer than I wanted. But usually, we keep referencing 2 Ezra 15, 2 Ezra 16. Key scriptures, like I said, pretty much say the same thing, showing you the times that we're in, man. Horrible times that we're about to approach. Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation. Okay? The hour of temptation. So anyway, like I always say, keep pushing. We're almost out of here. All right? Shalom. Wa abad babal.